Hey guys, Juicy Dauntless here. Today I'm doing a review on my fursuit from ButterFur Bakehouse, an Australian fursuit maker. I've had Genesis now for like 2.5 months, I think. And I've worn it around a couple times. I thought now would be a good time to do a review. So I'll be going through my commission experience with ButterFur, as well as each part of the suit. I got a full digigrade suit. And yeah, just a general overview, probably a pretty in-depth review, so stick around if you want to hear about it. So I'm going to start with a quick timeline of my whole experience with them. This just basically dates to show sort of how long it took. It's pretty reasonable. It was about 6 months from my first payment to her arriving, but breaking it down a little bit more, 8th of January I asked about a quote, got a quote on the 30th of January, made my first payment on the 13th of February. First work in progress photo was the 21st of February. That was really nice and quick. I was very surprised to see how quickly they got started on my suit. Then so there was nothing in March, and then the 15th of April I got a photo of the paws and the tail. They were both complete then, I think, from memory. And then 10th of May they showed that they had my duct tape dummy all patterned up with the padding and things. On the 11th of May I got a photo of the feet work in progress. They were pretty much done aside from, I think, the binding at the top, so that was pretty cool. The 19th of June I got a photo of the bodysuit. I believe it was complete at that point, but it was still just hanging up, so it wasn't like amazing photos or anything. 22nd of June I got a photo of the head with the fur laid down. It wasn't fully done. I finished paying it off on the 3rd of July. The 25th of July I got more photos of the head. This time they were fully glued down. She didn't have the hair tuft or a neck yet. On the 7th of August I got a photo of the complete suit. It had already been shipped off at this point, but the photos just hadn't gone through, and she arrived on the 9th of August. Nice little bonus thing was that when I originally asked what shipping estimates were going to be, they told me it would be between $40 to $60 for shipping, and that was from mainland Australia to me, like, I don't know, 3 states or something. I think they're from Queensland, but I'm not 100% sure. Shipping only ended up being 28 bucks, so I was really happy about that. I don't know how they made all of this suit fit into the box that it did, but it was very impressive. So my quote from ButterFur was 2,700 Australian dollars. So it's full digi bodysuit with, you know, multiple colours and all that stuff. Nothing crazy fancy. I think their base price for digigrade is 2,500. So it's only a little bit more. And I paid this off every fortnight. I sent them a bit, whatever. I work shift work, so it was whatever I could afford that fortnight. But they were really lovely in working with any type of payment plan that worked for me. It was really good. Once I started paying off the suit, so I made a down payment so that they could purchase the materials. They actually started working on the suit like while I was paying it off, which I know some makers won't do, I know some do, but I was really happy to find out that it would be worked on while I was paying it off, so that by the time I finished, it was pretty much done. It only took like 2 weeks after I'd finished paying it off for it to actually arrive. So I will say there were a couple of issues, not even issues, just kind of like things that I ran into while commissioning ButterFur. One of the things was that they were not particularly responsive. And they were absolutely like lovely when they did respond, but I went months, or at least a month, without hearing anything back after I'd sent like 2 or 3 messages asking questions. And I found out later, like pretty much at the end of the commission, that ButterFur lives in like an outer country area where there's like really crappy Wi-Fi and stuff, so they had actually sent photos that they hadn't actually sent through, which would have been nice to know like at the beginning of the commission to sort of expect that, but at least I found out later. So that was just something. I didn't get finished photos of the feet or the head until the whole suit was complete. Again, not a huge issue, just something I'd mentioned that the photos were kind of few and far between. I'm going to go over each part individually, and I'm going to start with the head. So this is Genesis's head. It is a foam base. It's very nice and squishy. It's very sturdy, which is nice. It doesn't have foam in the back, as you can see. It's sort of like it looks a bit weird when there's nothing in it, but it's flat in the back. That helps with sort of the breathing and stuff, so it's a little bit more ventilation. When I first started the commission and I'd made my first down payment, ButterFur Bakehouse was really good with checking colours to see if they matched. Those who might have been following me on my social media for a while would know that Jen's colour for her hair was not originally this dark. It was like a darker version of the teal. I didn't know I was going to get her as a fursuit when I first got her design, so I didn't know that that colour didn't really exist. So we discussed it, and ButterFur sent me an example of sort of the royal blue, and I liked that. But yeah, they double checked everything and was like, you know what, I'm thinking this colour for this part and this for this, and I was sort of able to check off on that, which was a really nice feature. For the head, I'd asked for the canine teeth and a few little bottom teeth. I wish now that I'd probably gone without the bottom teeth. They're like a little bit, I find them a little bit too prominent. It's still pretty cute, but it wasn't sort of the exact look I was going for. I hadn't seen any other examples of their suits with bottom teeth before, so I just didn't really know what to expect. But that's alright. I've got 3D eyes, so she likes to watch you. I just prefer 3D eyes over 2D eyes. They are built on foamy bases, so I'm a little paranoid about like denting the foam, because the whites of the eyes as well as the blacks of the eyes is all foam. So I'm hoping that that holds up, but it's not too bad at the moment. It still looks brand new. I really love the tongue. This is like the biggest fursuit tongue I've ever seen, and it's so squishy. It is sewn down, like, so it's not like free flowing, but it's so nice just to pat. Honestly, it's like my favorite part of this suit. As for ventilation and vision, ventilation is amazing. You can see like this is like all open. I can like it's a lot of space in here. So breathing is really good. I can scratch my face if I need to, or I reckon I could even drink, which is nice. Haven't tried yet. The vision, however, is not so great, and I know every suit has its blind spots, but the eyes seem to be positioned like a little too high for my face, I think. So that is a little difficult when you're trying to do little things, but I'll see if I can figure out like where the blind spot is so you guys can see. So I can see like there, I can't see anything like nose downwards, and I can see out to here-ish, yeah, about there. So it's pretty narrow. It's like, it's a very narrow, oh god, my hair's all disgusting now. It's pretty narrow field of view, which is a little, I don't know, it just kind of sucks because I can't really see what I'm doing, and especially with YouTube videos, I can't see like my notes in my hands properly. There's a little bit of vision out of the mouth because it is so wide, but it's really not. You wouldn't want to be walking around and just looking out of the mouth. Next, I'm going to talk about the paws. So these are the hand paws in a feral style. They're technically called puffy paws. I'll get to that in a second. They're not super puffy. So these are quite nice. I really like that they have only like a little bit of padding in the paws, so you can kind of grab things a little bit easier. The thing that's a little bit interesting about these is, one, they're not lined, which I know a lot of makers don't line their paws, but it wasn't specified if they're going to be lined or not. And I have quite sensitive hands. I get eczema on my hands, so I kind of hoped they'd been lined. I probably should have just asked if I could have paid a little bit extra for them to be lined, but I didn't, so that's probably just my fault. But the weird thing is the puffiness of them is, hang on, this is what the padding in them looks like. It's just pieces of foam that are sort of like finger shaped. I found that a little bit interesting. I haven't seen that method before. It doesn't feel so nice on bare fingers. I need to look into getting like some lycra gloves or something to wear with this. So that was just something different. Aside from that, like, they're pretty comfy. They're not particularly dexterous just because of like, you can see the shape of, oh gosh, this lighting's not very great. The shape of the paws, they're very wide. If you look at just like one by itself, it's very wide. So I'm not really able to like grab anything. I can just grab my phone. I can sometimes grab door handles, but I can't really do anything else. I can't open bags. I can't like do really much at all. I can't pull my sleeve, like my arm sleeves down over my other paw if I'm wearing my paw. So they're a little bit inconvenient, but I know most paws are, so that's not too bad. The other thing I'll mention with these is the Vise Binding is a little bit interesting. They've sewn it with not a matching thread color, which I noticed on a couple bits of the suit, the feet claws as well, which I'll get to in a second. I'm not sure if this will show up on camera, but the stitching is white, yeah. And the other thing is that they've done a zigzag stitch for binding, which I don't see very often. This is probably just things I'm picking up as a maker myself because I have different techniques and stuff. But on the other paw, which fell on the floor, it actually has like this weird kink in it where it hasn't been sewn on straight. You can see this one is fine, it's all straight, but this one's got like this weird kink. It's just, yeah, it's just not straight there. I think, yeah, like the stitching just kind of came off in a couple places. It's not particularly even. But anyway, the feet paws. Now these are outdoor sock paws, and oh my god, they're the most comfiest things I've ever worn in my life. I swear, like I just wear these around the house sometimes. So there's no shoe in them. They've got the matting on the bottom, and then I think what feels like just like some quilting or something underneath the lining on the inside. You really can't see anything in here. I will show you if I could. But it's just fleece lined, so it's basically just like wearing a slipper. They're so comfy and they're easy to walk in, which is really nice. I'm really, really happy with these. The only thing with these is, again, a bit of a weird thing with the binding. So what they've done is they've actually just flipped, like continued the fleece and just flipped it over. And it's kind of hard to show what they've done, but it's the same fleece. It's just been flipped over and stitched down. But they haven't really trimmed it. It's a bit weird. I'm trying to find this. Like there's these bits here that are just not trimmed, but then they're trimmed in other parts. So that's just kind of a little bit confusing. And again, that's done in like white thread, so it's a bit funny. Aside from that, these are really, really nice. Next is the tail. I love how this looks when it's being worn. It's like super chunky, so it sways really nicely. It just works with your regular belt loop. It's pretty much fine. Only thing to say about this is it's stuffed with foam pieces, so even though it looks fine on camera, when you're cuddling it, it kind of feels a little weird because there's bits where like, because foam, it's like foam chunks, so it's not going to fill every single crevice, it's just going to kind of give a general filling. There's bits where you can feel like the foam kind of sticks out, or there's like little empty bits, which is interesting. I hadn't seen that method done before for tails, but it's not bad and it's very, very nice to wear. Now this is the bodysuit. Gonna be kind of hard to show the whole thing on camera, but there's bodysuit. This is very nicely done. It is double stitched. I'm pretty sure every seam is double stitched. Even the zipper is double stitched, which is really nice. And I don't know how they did this, but like, it's not sewn as like a proper invisible zipper, but it's like completely invisible. Let me do this up. So you can see like this zipper is blue, and then it just disappears. Like, where did it go? So that's really impressive. I really love how well that hides. And this minky bias up the top around the neck is really comfy. It doesn't scratch or anything, which is nice. All of the markings are completely accurate. I know her back marking is a little weird, but they did it really, really well, so that's exactly how I wanted it to be. The padding for the legs is also foam stuffed. You can kind of see what I mean here, like it's kind of lumpy. That's sort of what the tail's like as well, but obviously you can't really see it because it's covered in fur. But these are the two thigh pieces. The calf padding is sewn into the suit, which I prefer anyway. These go into the legs, and there's also just a little bit of butt padding. It's very thin, but apparently it helps protect like the back seams of your bodysuit if you're moving around and sitting down and stuff a lot. So that's nice and handy, and it looks like a little pair of booty shorts, so that's cool. The only thing I found with the padding is that it does slip down a lot. Not like a crazy amount, but it kind of wiggles to the side or it slides down. And I think that might be because of the Lycra. It sort of is just really slippery. And because it's not like super smooshed into the suit, it just kind of bleh sometimes. I think I found that I need to change the leggings that I wear under my suit, because if I wear Lycra leggings on Lycra, it just slides away, it's just gone basically. So I need to just find a pair of leggings that actually kind of grip on, so hopefully it can help keep the padding in place. Padding does blend really well into like the torso of the bodysuit, and you can see like the shape that they've done. This is the knee, but then this tapers all the way up to like the top of where my pants would normally sit. So it blends in really nice with the actual like top of like my hips kind of thing, which is really nice. My only digi-suit I've made had this weird kind of transition because it just wasn't smooth enough. So it's really nice that I have a suit that does that. When I actually got the suit, obviously I tried it on straight away. You can see my unboxing video, I'll link it somewhere up here, where I tried it on. Soon after that unboxing video, I was showing it off to my parents a little bit, and I realized that I'd gotten an allergic reaction from it. Like I said in the beginning, I have really sensitive skin, and I don't know what it was, but something gave me like hives up my arm. So I was a little bit concerned about that, and I messaged ButterFur and they were so apologetic about it. And they said they actually have like some, I think they said like some herb plants in their studio, and they never even thought of them being like an allergic anything. And I get really bad hay fever and like all that kind of crap that just messes with my skin. I gave it a little bit of a wipe down on the insides of the arms and it was fine. I haven't had any issues since, which is nice to know, but I thought I'd add that in there. I believe now that they have removed the plants from their studio, so no one else should have that issue. I had a really great commissioning experience with ButterFur Bakehouse. The end product I really love. There's only those sort of couple of little things that I would have changed, but aside from that, it was really awesome. If you're considering commissioning them, the only thing I would say is be prepared not to get a whole lot of updates, even if you ask for them. They apparently just have really bad internet connection and just aren't online a whole lot. The only thing that was a little disconcerting for me was I think I went about 6 weeks without a reply when I updated them that I'd sent them money. So I'd sent them like $600 or something, and I had no word from them that they'd actually received it. So it's just a little bit weird there, but like they were not scammy or anything in any way, so don't take that away from this video. They're absolutely lovely to work with and really kind. But just, yeah, if you're considering that, if you're the kind of person that needs updates of their suit like every week, just have a think about that if that's the kind of thing that you'd be prepared to deal with. I think that's about everything that I wanted to cover in this video. I've probably forgotten something. If there's anything major, I'll add it in the comments. Feel free to ask questions in the comments as well. I'm happy to answer any questions about the suit or about my commissioning experience. Overall, was great. I'm really happy. So yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to know, and please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!